Hey guys, Michelle here presenting for Group 1. I'm going to spend some time talking to you about lean manufacturing and sharing some slides that Amit, Chris, and Paneet helped me develop. First, we'll take a little time and offer a summary of lean manufacturing, talk about the different types of waste and the 5 key principles. Then we'll open up the lean manufacturing toolbox and we'll talk about some of the proven and effective ways of eliminating process waste, like TPM and SMED. Next, we'll break down a case study we put together to help illustrate how lean manufacturing might be used in a real food manufacturing setting. And after that, we'll offer a comparison between lean manufacturing and other quality management systems. And finally, we'll wrap things up with some motivational discussion on how to reapply lean manufacturing in other areas besides just the food industry. And also throw out a quiz question for you guys to answer. So let's get started. The number one goal of lean manufacturing is to eliminate waste. And waste is defined as any non-value added component of a process. And all processes contain some type of waste. Lots of different types of waste. You've got waste due to variation of people or machines. You've got waste due to stress of people or machines. And then you've got waste due to the big 7, which are transportation, weighting, overproduction, defects, inventory, movement, and extra processing. Keep those big 7 at the forefront of your mind as we go through this presentation. There might be a quiz on it later, you never know. So again, those 7 types of waste are transportation, weighting, overproduction, defects, inventory, movement, and extra processing. Now let's talk about the 5 key principles. First is value, and that's the end goal, and it's defined by the customer based on what their expectations of the finished product are. Next is the value stream, and that's the map from start to finish, from raw material to customer delivery of the finished product. After that, you have flow, and that happens after waste removal. After that is pull, and that's generated from customers. And finally, perfection. And that happens when lean manufacturing becomes part of the organizational culture. And every employee from the shop floor to the corporate office knows the process and lives it in every decision. Now let's open up the lean manufacturing toolbox. First, we've got overall equipment effectiveness, or OEE. That measures the percentage of planned production time that is truly productive. An OEE score of 100% signifies perfect production, where the company only manufactured good parts as fast as it could with no downtime, focusing on availability, performance, and quality. We can also use the theory of constraints in lean manufacturing, and that theory states that every process has a constraint, and that concentrating on that constraint and improving that constraint is the fastest and most effective way to enhance profitability. And you have to continue improving the process until that constraint is absolutely eliminated. You also have total productive maintenance, or TPM, and the overall goal is to get operators involved in maintaining their own equipment, causing fewer breakdowns, fewer stops, and fewer defects. There's also short interval control, and that tool is all about teams, working together in the moment to evaluate real-time data and make changes to improve the process and gain efficiency immediately. And finally, SMED, or single minute exchange of dies. This concept focuses on the reduction of changeover times by either eliminating, moving, simplifying, or streamlining them. Some of the benefits of SMED include a lower manufacturing cost, smaller lot sizes, improved responsiveness to customer demand, lower inventory levels, and even smoother startups. Now let's talk about that case study. Nothing But Crumbs is a Midwestern baked goods company, and they're experiencing material losses of over 12% when they're only budgeted for 6%. That's not good. Pennies still matter in the food industry, and those losses can make a major impact on profit margins. So what can they do to turn things around with lean manufacturing? Well, first they need to go and see the problem firsthand. They need to get out on the production floor and see the loss as it happens, where it happens. Then they have to gather data. They need data from the manufacturing floor, from the financial office, from the production office, maybe even from the HR office. From everywhere they can get their hands on data, they should grab it. And once they've seen the problem and analyzed the data, they need to definitively call out the waste point they're going to go after. Well, let's say in this case they found that the operators were not weighing out the materials with a scale. They were only estimating how much they were throwing in the vat during batching. This lack of adherence to the recipes added up to about 3.5% of the losses the company was incurring. They also saw the material handlers in the warehouse spilling containers and improperly handling returned bags from the line. Now, each of those little spills might not have been much, but adding them all up over the course of the week the management team was out on the floor uncovered another 2.5% material loss. To eliminate the waste, the management team brought awareness to the issue and told the line workers what the impact was to the organization's bottom line. They also implemented a process that required measurement recording during batching and spill cleanup so that they could properly track raw materials through the entire production process. Then they repeated the process, and the second time around, they ended up automating the capture of the weight data at batching. This decreased the losses even more, and now the management team is planning the next event soon so they can eliminate even more waste. So what about other quality management systems? How does Lean compare to, say, ISO or Kaizen, or even total quality management? Well, let's look at ISO first. Lean manufacturing is a system of quality management with one goal. We talked about that. It's to eliminate waste. Lean manufacturing is well developed in its sources of waste that are already defined. Lean manufacturing comes with a standard toolbox that has flexible methods that are useful in a variety of industries, not just the food industry. ISO, its strength lies in that it's a global set of standards recognized in many markets. But its weakness is that it tells you what your program should look like, but not how to get it there. Kaizen, it's also strong in that it integrates the concept of lean manufacturing, but it's weak in that it looks at the big picture of continuous improvement rather than eliminating focused points of waste right away. And total quality management, its strength is in the holistic use of strategy, data, and effective communication to improve quality and customer satisfaction. But its weakness is that long-term commitment is required at all levels of the organization, and that quick, small wins are not likely with that holistic approach. Well, I think lean manufacturing definitely stands out as the most straightforward, well-developed quality management system available. But remember, when implementing lean manufacturing, you have to take the right steps. You've got to observe the entire process, not just bits and pieces of it. You've got to remember that standard operating procedures are only effective if people have read them. You've got to track your results. And remember that lean isn't just for production. You could use it for your HR department, for your accounting department, for inventory, for warehouse, just about anywhere. And you're able to make it last, and it's easy. These big improvements and the collaborative thinking with effective, infectious implementation, everybody's going to want to do it. You know, the core idea behind lean is maximizing customer value while minimizing waste. Simply put, lean means creating more value for customers with fewer resources. Now the big question. Name 2 types of waste that lean manufacturing works to eliminate. You can post your answers back on the Food Quality Management Facebook group, and we also look forward to everyone's feedback so we can work to make this presentation as informative and user-friendly as we can. Thanks for listening, guys.